Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever this episode finds you. I'm Dana Scranton, and this is 8-Minute Wisdom. The episode today is about purpose and vision and the synergy between the two. Now, let me explain where I'm going in this episode. In many of the self-help books in the entrepreneurial world, in the business world, personal success world, there is a mantra, and the mantra is that your success depends on the definitive nature of your purpose, your definite purpose, you having a purpose. And that's true. I mean, Napoleon Hill, in his epic book, Think and Grow Rich, makes that the theme of the book. Having definiteness of purpose gives you clarity so that you can define what it is you're going to do, why you're going to do it, and have a reference that you can constantly go back to check yourself against the actions you're taking versus your purpose. Okay, so it's a good thing to do. But there's a little bit of a hang up there that I have encountered with not only myself, but others. And it is, what if you're having a hard time finding your purpose? What if your purpose in life just doesn't fall out of the sky and land in your lap? Well, ironically, that's not really what Napoleon Hill was talking about. If you read Think and Grow Rich carefully, what you'll find out is the definiteness of purpose is the thing that you desire more than anything. It's the thing you want, and he attached to it a purpose. My purpose is to be happy. My purpose is to become financially wealthy. Okay. Now, that purpose is basically a goal, an objective, but we tend to put a box around purpose. And the box is, why am I on this earth and what am I supposed to accomplish? Now, that is not a bad question. And for many people in the world today, that's a very difficult question to answer because we have been programmed, we have been desensitized to our individuality, to the significance that we bring to the world. And when that happens, the neat thing is the pendulum swings the other way and people start asking the question, why am I here? What is it that I can do to make the world a better place? And then they start asking the questions that lead them to, you name it, purpose. But I want to get back to the synergy between purpose and vision. And then I'm going to talk about the graphic that's right here on the screen. So let's just say, for example, that you're having a hard time defining your purpose. You know, you go through the whole method that I teach in your code of life and living. You begin with a dream, and the emotional attachment to the dream signals a desire. The desire propels you to make a decision that you want that desire to become true. And so this leads you to a path, like the picture here on the screen. There's a gate. That gate, when you open it, is your decision to move forward to achieve that which you desire. On either side is going to be lush flowers and pastures, and in the distance, where you're heading, the beautiful green, cool mountain meadows. Okay, so what does all that mean? What it means is whether you start with a purpose or a vision doesn't matter. Well, let me define the two again. A purpose is your external manifestation of who you are, how you show up in the world. It's the effect, the impact, the influence you have on the world, such as you define it. Your world may be a single person, your world may be the entire world. It's up to you to define the thing that you define as the world. If you say, I want to make the world a better place, what is it that you want to make better? And that'll help you define the world. But let's say that you don't have that particular thought in your mind, and it's just very difficult. But you have a vision of who you want to be. You have a vision of the identity that you want to embrace, the beliefs, the values, and who that makes you. It may be as simple as, I just want to be happy. That's a vision. So let's say that on the right, that field of flowers is vision. On the left, that field of flowers is purpose. Down the middle is a path, and you can cross that path anytime you choose. Vision. Having a vision of who you want to be and what that means to you ultimately leads to purpose. And why is that? Well, for you to achieve a state of vision, a state of being in the state of humanity as we know it, you have to make an impact on the lives of others. Now, you could go off grid, go hide in the forest, eat berries and bugs, avoid getting eaten by grizzly bears and so forth, and never help a person in your entire life. But let me ask you a question. How many of you would define that as the vision of your life? Probably not many. In the world today, we have a need for people whose vision of who they want to be leads them to make a difference in the world such as they define it. And in the course of doing that, they achieve their vision. Maybe it's happiness, joy, fulfillment. It can be any number of things, but that's up to you to define. But ultimately, it leads you to a purpose. And that purpose being the impact, the influence that you make on the world for you having become the person of your vision. So that's starting in the lush pasture of flowers, the field of flowers on the right. But let's say you're a purpose-driven kind of person. That purpose snaps into your mind immediately, that you've got a purpose, and that purpose is your desire, it is your passion. Well, ultimately, that defines who you must be in order to accomplish that purpose. So now you're going to leap over to the right into the field of flowers called vision. And there you will define who you must be in order to accomplish your purpose. So you see, there's a synergy between the two. They aren't separated by a fence, they're separated by a simple path that you choose. And you're going to go back and forth. As you move forward in your entrepreneurial journey, for example, and you see that purpose on the horizon, you begin to realize that you're going to need to be somebody just a little bit different in order to climb the mountain to get to that purpose. So now you're back over here on vision. When you're over on the vision, you realize that your purpose is too small. So now from the vision side, you say, I need to be a greater person to achieve a greater purpose. So now you're back over on the purpose side. See what I mean? It doesn't matter which side of the path you start on, whether it's a vision of who you want to be, you desire to be, that identity that you want to hold as all your own, uniquely you, or whether you're starting over on the purpose side where you have a grand vision of how you're going to change the world, however you define that world. So that's a synergy between the two. So I hope that helps clarify how perhaps easy it is to find your way down that path of life to achieve, to attain, to fulfill whatever it is you desire. Those two working together take the pressure off having to have the definitive purpose. Plus, I hope you understand what I said about Napoleon Hill's book. If you read the book, you'll find that that purpose isn't the grandiose vision of how you're going to change the world. It's the thing you want. And then you define a plan to achieve that. So anyway, that was kind of an extra little bit of a knowledge and wisdom that I could impart to you today. And that's today's episode. So we'll see you on the frontier of possibilities. And of course, in the next episode. Take care.